Hi, Michelle Quick here. So, now I've been thinking a lot about what happened. What really happened? When? Yeah, 2020 in March. My family and I were sitting and watching the news, and our Prime Minister was on stage and was telling us all that Denmark was shut down. I don't know if this is too early or too late regarding talking about this, but here goes, because this is something that is actually near and dear to my heart. Then a year passed, then 2 years passed, and a lot of people around the world for whom 3 years passed with lockdown, closed doors, sitting away from each other, and streets that were empty. In Denmark, we opened up and then we closed again a few times. And honestly, I can't really remember all the details. It's actually a little bit fuzzy, some of it. I remember standing in line to get tested. And I remember the news where the Prime Minister said that everyone had to get the vaccine or else they would be, let's just say it wasn't nice what she said. Now, I'm not known for being political or sharing my political views, so I won't do that here either. What I want to do is actually ask, where did we go? What really happened? Because a lot of people, now I worked at that time and I was able to work because I worked with young kids. And regarding the Danish law, we were allowed to work and get together more than 10 people. And it was a great project and I really miss everyone there. Sadly enough, it stopped, but we had some great times. What wasn't great was on a more personal note. My daughter, she was at the time in seventh grade, and she was at home and at lockdown because all the schools was closed down, and she really suffered because she's a outgoing, going to everything, being with her friends and always active. So I decided that I took her with me on my job to actually get her out. Now, after I worked there, I worked at another company with kids. And what I saw was really kids suffering because they had been apart. Now, going forward to now and looking back, now I work as a social worker and I do this and I do workshops and I do coachings and I network, yeah. But I do work as a social worker with some of the most sick people in Denmark. And I love my job. I love helping them and it's really giving. What I see every day is not only the people that I work to actually help, but it's also my colleagues, it's the people that are also working to help everyone else. When I am at network conferences out in the world, I've been to the States, I've been to England, a lot of places. When I go online, I can see that people are reaching for something. We are back to normal. Or are we? Because what happened? Where are people now? Lockdown stopped. We got back to work, back to the office, back to laughing with our co-workers, back to having fun. But we were under siege for 2 or 3 years or more. We were apart for 2 or 3 years or more. We were scared for 2 or 3 years or more. We didn't know what was going on. This had never happened to us before, and there was a lot of laws made actually at the time to find out and to make sure that everything was in order. So a lot of things was made up at the time to actually try to keep up with everything that was happening. People were scared. I was scared. My family was scared, and my husband was scared. My friends were scared. Were you scared? So where did we go? What happened? This is actually what I have been thinking about, but not only that, I've been talking with people around the world, and what I'm hearing is that there are a lot of people confused or actually not talking about it. A lot of systems regarding stress, PTSD, depression, and headaches are turning up everywhere. I see it in my work here in Denmark, and I see it around the world, and I hear it in my conversations when I'm talking and networking with people, business people around the world. So where did we go? And where are we now? We are right here. We are trying to fight. We are trying to be better and get in the top and have success. And we are getting back to normal. But what is normal? Because we are never going to get back to what was. Sorry, but it's not going to happen. We experienced something that we haven't experienced before. The earth stood still. The streets was empty, and people were fighting for their lives. We didn't know that everyone wasn't going to die. At one point, every news station was going, we're going to die, so many people are sick and everything, and we were afraid. With those kinds of memories, with those kind of reactions, and the way that we were actually treating each other. Families couldn't see each other, and some families stopped seeing each other because of a difference of opinion. So where did we go, and where are we now? Keep in mind, I'm not trying to stir up the past. Definitely not. Been there, haven't we? I'm actually asking the questions because how are you now, and where are you now? Everything that we have been through does have a consequence. It's not normal if we don't react. So are we reacting? Are we giving it justice the way that we are feeling, or are we just pushing it down and not listening to our bodies and to our minds and to our feelings? Or are we labeling it in a different way? Do you have a headache? Do you feel anxiety? Are you tired? Do you have a pain somewhere in your body? Do you get scared easily? Are you suddenly feeling anxious or something else? Are you irritated? Is your body tingling? Are you crying? Are you feeling depressed? Have you been to the doctor? Have you been to a therapist? Or are you just taking a couple of aspirins and going to work as always? because this is where we are and this is who we are. Or has there been something more difficult? Are you getting more sick and have you been diagnosed with stress or PTSD because of something else? Now, I'm not one for sitting on my hands, so I do have something in mind. And in a year, no, next year sounds so far away, but it's actually the 18th of December now. Next year, I'm going to release something really exciting, something that can help. That's it's not nothing new. The new thing is that I have put it all together, because we have to be aware of how we're feeling and what actually is the cause. Not that we have to look back, because we can certainly not do anything over regarding to lockdown and everything we were through. But to actually heal, we need to be aware of what we are feeling and where it comes from. And then we need to align. We need to be in balance. Now, I don't believe that there are such a thing as a work-life balance. There weren't before, and there's never going to be. Either you're focused on work or you're focused on family. Not that there can be both of them, but sometimes you need to focus more on one thing and then there's a little bit less on the other. So sometimes you need to be more with your family and a little less working. That's my opinion anyway. And then when you have aligned, when you got the balance, for a moment and again, action. Then action is required, and then you can heal, and then you can actually go forward. Sounds interesting? I think so too. Stay tuned and remember, we are here now, and regardless of what happened before and where we were, we are here now and we're going forward. And trust me, I'm going to be here every step of the way. Let me hear in the comments what you think. And remember, you are special. And what you do makes a difference. Take care, stay safe.